Good morning, everybody. Welcome once again to BTL Bass Talk Live, where we're going to talk bass fishing and anything else that we want to talk about. Matthew, big day yesterday in the world of bass fishing. Two big announcements. The Elite Series field is set. You nailed it. You had the number. 75 competitors going to take place in 2019. And then something that I think most people inside the industry thought was going to take place. I mean, they said it was going to take place. The sale of Pure Fishing to a private equity group for an astounding amount of money. A lot of money, dude.
Boyd didn't buy it? It wasn't Boyd?
I don't think he's got that kind of money, man.
$1.3 billion. That's with a B.
Yeah.
Did I read correctly where it's the same group that owns Staples?
Oh, a bunch of companies. Belk, Hot Topic. I know a store that...
What is Belk? The Belk Bowl?
No. You've never been to a Belk? It is a small, kind of a small to medium-sized department store in smaller communities.
Okay.
Like Muskogee had one.
Okay. No, all I know is from the Belk Bowl in college football.
Yeah, it's a department store.
Okay.
So Staples, Office Depot, or let's see here. Let me go down the list here.
I just saw the Staples part.
Coldwater Creek, Commerce Hub, Staples in Canada, Talbot's, the
Holy
Limited.
cow.
So, and then your favorite store to shop at, Hot Topic.
Oh, absolutely. So what does this mean?
I don't
what
know,
does it
man.
mean every time Pure Fishing sells? We say, what does this mean? And as far as I'm concerned, they keep coming out with baits. They keep upping their sponsor contracts. They keep sponsoring different organizations.
I really don't know.
And why has this been sold so many times over the past 10 years?
I don't know. And $1.3 billion. I don't know anybody else, at least inside the industry, that could have done that, with the exception of probably Johnny Morris. And we don't know how the debt is structured and what the terms of the deal, are from a financing standpoint. Is there a stock swap? Who knows, dude? All I know is it's a lot of money to pay for a company that is involved in the bass fishing world. $1.3 billion. I think the early indications were that this thing was going to be sold between $500 and $750 million. It was interesting, the pop, and I don't know what it closed at yesterday, but the pop on the market that Newell Brands got initially in pre-market trading, I think it was around almost 4%. So I don't know, man. I don't know what it means for the industry. I don't know what it means for all the guys that are involved from a pro staff standpoint that are being compensated by Pure Fishing. I would assume that everything would be the same.
I mean, I wouldn't think that if they just bought it for $1.3 billion, that a $75,000 sponsorship would be the first thing on their priority list that they would go reevaluate.
I gotta get the instant feedback started here. I'm sorry, I'm a little late on that. So here I got it.
You know what I'm saying,
going
though?
Now, here's typically what happens with PEGs, private equity groups. So many times we see PEGs in the real world. In the non-fishing world.
In the real world?
Yeah.
Like the fishing world is not the real world?
In some aspects, it's not, all right? But in the structure of the real business world, a lot of private equity groups, they really try to turn around companies and make a profit. I mean, that's part of the reason why they're in business.
That's one of the reasons you said you thought it had been sold before several times.
Yeah.
Was that they were going to part the different companies off, like the Abu and the Berkeley and the Penn and the Shakespeare and all that.
Yeah. So I don't know. Is there going to be an opportunity to still purchase some of those companies by companies in the industry? Maybe. But if you're trying to make money on a $1.3 billion acquisition, man, I don't know. Maybe they are going to piece it. I'm just blown away. And it was interesting too. And Brian from Lake Norman actually mentioned it also. There was a blurb on it on CNBC yesterday about the pop the Newell stock and the fact that the private equity group was buying the Pure Fishing brand. So a mention on the #1 financial news network in the world, CNBC.
It's big time.
It's a lot of money, man. Jeez.
Hey, you got the internet over there? Can you look up a web page?
Why can't you?
Because I need you to see it. I want to get your initial raw reaction.
Okay, hang on a second. What do you want me to look up?
I want you to look up flwfishing.com.
Okay, I'm there.
Well, what is a lead story?
Well, good for him.
Hallman's favorite bait. It is the exact jig that you use.
It is.
Look at that. There's the copper tie.
It's the LBJ,
There's the round rubber. It's actually referred to as an LBJ.
Yeah.
It says
how many years have I talked about that?
The LBJ.
Yeah. Yeah, it's no secret around here. It's no secret up in Missouri either.
I thought you would get a kick out of that.
That is pretty cool,
Leading
man.
off FLW Outdoors, old Brad Hallman with the little brown jig.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And do you notice how the skirt is tied?
Yeah, hand tied with the copper wire.
Yeah.
With the copper wire. Did you also see over this past weekend they had I think it was like the Anglers in Action Championship on Grand? Warren and Pilcher came in with over 27 on the final day.
Do we need to even get into that? Why and how that those guys continue to catch those fish?
Justin McClellan finished second by himself.
Well, that's no surprise there.
Little Johns were up there. It was a heavy home field, but they're biting. Yeah. On Grand at least.
Yeah. By the way, going back to that jig real quick, do you know who Jimmy and Jackie Davis is? Have you ever heard those names?
Were they a singing duo in the 80s?
Holy guacamole. No, they were not.
No, that was serious. I thought they were kind of like Donnie and Marie.
No. You've never heard of Jimmy and Jackie Davis before. They are iconic in the Ozarks.
I mean, it sounds familiar.
Yeah. I mean, they have dominated for years on Table Rock and Grand Lake and Lake of the Ozarks. Look them up sometimes.
Are they little brown jig fans?
They were kind of, them and Jim Akins were kind of the pioneers in the whole deal.
I guess we should mention we're going to have Freddy Roubanis on today.
Yes. Talk a little international bass fishing.
We've got his Skype set up.
Hopefully.
A little bit of a chore. We've got it working, but he's got some stuff to show us, mainly gold medal.
Yeah.
Got back from Mexico. It looked like he did not drink the water down there. He seemed to be in good health.
I think a lot of tequila, maybe.
that kills whatever gets you from the water.
Yeah.
But we're gonna have him on in the here coming up in a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I want to do this real quick. I want to go back to the Pure Fishing situation. I'm going to try and get Ken Duke on. Obviously, he is the editor of Fishing Tackle Retailer, and kind of get his take on this thing is huge. I don't think people realize maybe the number, but another private equity group getting involved in the bass fishing biz. So we'll try to get Ken on and get his take on this massive deal that went down yesterday. All right, the other big news that came down yesterday was, Matthew?
There was two. The dates for MLF finally dropped.
Well, Boyd told us on Tuesday that they were on the website.
They must have been on a dark page because I couldn't find them.
I couldn't either.
Then. But the dates finally dropped. And I think they might have scheduled on top of Arbor Day. I'm pretty depressed. But the bigger news, so what? We've got dates. We still don't have locations.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah.
The Elite Series came out, I thought, somewhat unexpectedly as far as their timing. Is this now a contest as who can drop press releases on top of each other?
I don't think it's a contest. I mean, there'll be some strategy involved,
but
I don't think it's a contest.
I'm pretty sure that whenever one press release comes out, another one comes out, regardless of who has it first. Anyway,
you think they just have them stacked up, ready to throw out there? I think they do,
and as soon as Major League Fishing throws one out, Bass hits it back, and as soon as Bass throws one, Major League Fishing.
I don't think that's the case.
75 guys. 74 of them are already confirmed, and then right now, as we speak, on Pickwick Lake, the
National
Championship. Good luck to all those guys.
All right. Some names that we know.
Some big names. Let's start at the bottom. There's some more interest. There's interesting stuff at the bottom.
This was alphabetically, right?
Yeah, with the Ys.
Yeah, I was somewhat surprised on that. And we will try to get him on the show, too. We're talking about Jay Yelis. Very surprised on that one.
Takarante's back after a medical exemption.
Yes.
Last year.
Rick Clunn.
Rick Clunn's back. Brett Pruitt's back.
Clark Wendelin. Mm-hmm. We knew about that one.
Chad Morgenthaler's back. You know, Kyle Monty benefited from all this stuff that went down in the industry, because I remember the last tournament of the year, he got on stage and he went, "Holy cow, this is expensive." Nice to know, everybody. I'll see you down the road.
Yeah.
So, you know, now he's basically fishing without entry fees. So
Slick Rick is back.
Yeah.
Slick Rick Morris.
Shane Lineberger is still here.
Kobe Krieger.
Two Johnson brothers and Carl Jacobson back in the Elite Series after.
Is it not Jacobson?
I don't know. Call him whatever you want.
I think it is Jacobson.
We'd already mentioned Dale Hightower. Jamie Hartman back after a medical exemption. Gussie, as they call him over on FLW. I've yet to meet the guy. Apparently, he's super cool. I've talked to Mercer about him. He says he's the bee's knees, coming off a great year.
Yeah.
Clint Davis, going to be toting the Forest Wood Cup around to all the Elite Series events now. Brandon Cobb, and if you go back on Bass Zone and look 2-3 years ago before it really got out of control, Brandon Cobb was the most underrated, under the radar angler, I think, on the FLW tour.
Yeah.
He's unbelievably good. Go back and look at his stats. I've done stories on how significant your BFL performances are when you step up to the next level. Look at his top 10 percentage and cut percentage in Forest Wood Cups and on the FLW tour. And the dude reminds me a little bit of like a Brian Thrift type character, but he's got those kind of elements that you can't teach, a little bit like a Jordan Lee. Yeah. I mean, he still hasn't won a cup or anything. I don't want to get carried away here. I'm just saying the guy's really good, and you're about to see it on the Elite Series.
Yeah. Obviously, there's some names missing from this list, but one that kind of stuck out, of which Derek on the Instant Feedback just posted too, was John Cox.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of surprised.
I thought that was going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you know about, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing his last name correctly, Quentin Capo.
I don't know.
From Louisiana.
That's a great
Probably
name.
The coolest name on the Elite Series right
Gary
now.
Klaus had already announced he's over.
Yeah. Rick Clunn has remained fairly quiet during this entire thing.
The best hat in the league, Todd Auten. Always has a perfect crest on that thing.
He does.
But that's cool to see him back.
David Fritz?
Yeah, he came back too. That had been on a year-to-year basis. And then Matt Airy.
Yeah. I think it's going to be entertaining.
On a scale of 1 to 10, take this October, what is it, November?
Yeah.
What is it, middle of November 7th now? No, November 8th.
8th.
Go October 15th. After all this stuff hit the fan to now, based on what it looked like, how would you rate them? Give them a grade. Give the Elite Series field a grade for 2019.
Well, it really needs to be put in 2 categories. One, have they done what they needed to do in order to get a pretty decent field? And I think they've done a 9 out of 10 on that. And then 2, when you would rank the field itself, I don't know, maybe an 8, 7.5, an 8.
That's fair. I mean, there's some guys who are like, who?
Yeah.
But there is every year.
Yeah,
I mean, Zaldane,
obviously more this year.
Yeah, but Zaldane was a who when he first popped on the scene.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing going forward is to see the guys that seize the opportunity to become part of this Elite Series. The other thing, there's still some unknowns, because now what are you going to do as far as the qualifications for next year?
I hear you.
We've made a really big focus of saying with the Major League Fishing product, they're locked in for 3 years. Well, what
these
is going
guys locked in?
Yeah, what's going to be the situation, because there really hasn't been an announcement, at least that I'm aware of, on going forward. How are people going to be able to continue to qualify for this? How many spots are going to be available? And what's going to happen to the current field that's in there for 2019?
Let me ask you this. So for the Elite Series, for the longest time, would you call it what? The Big Four or the Big Five, depending on. You had Kevin, Skeet, Ike, and Swindle.
Yeah.
Would you say?
Yeah.
Fair for those four?
Yeah.
Who's the Kevin, Skeet, Ike, and Swindle of the Elite Series now?
Right now?
I mean, I'm not saying replacing those guys. I'm just saying, and I know they've already talked about how they're going to focus on more broader coverage and stuff, but I mean, who are the big dogs on the Elite Series now? Because that's what I
would
looking.
say the big dogs, Jay Ellis.
That was one of the names that Clark Wendlandt.
Clark.
That was one of them.
Obviously, Rick Clunn.
Mm-hmm.
And Steve Kennedy. Those might be the big four dogs. And that's not to diss anybody else.
I'm going to throw Keith Combs in there.
Yeah, but you look at an entire career, though.
Yeah. Well,
right?
You look at the entire career, Keith Combs is
I get it. But the longevity and the fact that what those guys have done over a longer career, I think those are the four big dogs. You know, not to take anything away from Matt Herron or any of the other guys that have been doing it for a while. It's just, I think those are the four big dogs on the Elite Series. Do you agree or disagree, Matthew?
Yeah, I mean, if Cliff Perch embraced the Golden Ram more, I would almost throw him in there as a fifth one, but he's way too self-conscious of his image to really grab the ram by the horns.
Yeah, very nice. And the way that the schedule sets up, and with some of these guys, probably the greatest opportunity to have success in an entire field that has ever been in existence in the Elite Series.
And
Agree with that?
I think, you can't leave out the two guys. Obviously, Zaldane has a lot of pop to him there.
Yeah, John Cruz does too.
Yeah, John Cruz, and also probably one of the most accomplished out of all of them is Mark Menendez.
Yeah.
With the Elite Series wins and all the classic qualification and his longevity. So, yeah, there's
like I said,
it's a solid field.
Hey, give Bass a 9 out of 10 for doing what they did.
And you're going to have a bunch of cool video and stuff with Carl coming over.
Yeah.
And a number of guys who are, that's going to be the new. It'll be interesting to see how the vibe is. How many? Is.
Here's a question, and I know you haven't done this. How many of the guys on this piece of paper right here are going to be fishing in the Classic?
Yeah, I already did that.
Did you do that?
Did you not look at Bassone at all?
I did, but I don't remember.
It was literally breaking down the Classic field.
Dude, you didn't have this list yet.
No, but I knew who was in the Classic. So if none of the guys that are on.
So how many was it? I don't remember. I'm sorry.
A maximum, I believe, of 12. Let me click again.
See, that's going to be weird, especially with 2 events prior to the Classic. Or is it 1 event or 2 events?
In total, 43 anglers who fished the Elite Series in 2018 will be competing in the 2019 Classic. If Summerall wins the Bass Nation National Championship, that'll be 44. Out of the 43 qualified anglers, 36 of them are fishing Major League Fishing. 84% of the Elite Series anglers in the Classic field.
That's just going to be weird.
Here's the only ones that aren't: Seth Feider, Chris Zaldane, Jake Whitaker, Cliff Perch, Micah Frazier, Drew Benton, and Brandon Lester.
7? Is that right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. And then you go through the open qualifiers and everything. So out of the 52 Classic qualifiers, the maximum number of anglers who will be fishing the Elite Series in 2019 is 12. Once you add the open qualifiers and all that stuff.
Wow.
And that's 23% of the field, whereas in 2018, so 23% of the field in the Classic will be fishing the Elite Series in next year. In last year, 86% of the field went on and fished the Elite Series.
Hey, real quick, I do want to mention this in the press release that came out yesterday. Bass still announced that the winner is still going to earn $100,000 and the Blue Trophy, and 75th place will earn $2,500.
Okay, cool.
So, hey, man, I think if that's the decision that you have made to fish the Elite Series, I think there is massive quantities of opportunity.
I'm with you.
So it's going to be very, very cool to see how that plays out.
And now we're going to have Fred on and talk about the fourth.
And like I said,
the international
dude,
trend.
I'm telling you, there's no way, and we'll get Freddie's take on this, but from an angling standpoint, I know what he's going to say. From a economic standpoint, from a business standpoint, from an Olympic standpoint, this thing's never going to be in the Olympics, dude. They keep trying and trying and trying and trying. It's not going to happen. The IOC is not going to let this happen.
Even if it's not, it's a cool deal that they're doing, and I think it's getting undercovered. You got an international team going
interest.
over. I know that they've done it in the past. You know, remember Vince Folks from Oklahoma went over and they've done it. But
they used to do the thing in Italy 20 years ago.
Yeah, but this is like a series.
There's no interest there.
Yes, there is. I really think there is. I think that the lack of interest is because of lack of knowledge. Not because of lack of interest. So that's what we're trying to do here at BTL is increase people's knowledge to make them aware of this fantastic international competitions that are going on in Africa and Mexico and Canada and the United States and the group of anglers that are in it.
It all started in Italy over 20 years ago, dude.
So
and
we're
it just
never
never took off.
Talk about it.
All right.
That took a slightly pessimistic turn, Mark.
Not true. Not true. Dude, have at it. I want him to go to Japan. Do whatever.
I think that might be on it. We can look at the website.
Yeah. All right, everybody, stay tuned. We're coming back with Freddie.
Sleek new design with easy control file. The clearest images underwater with uncompromising range. Live mapping from the touchscreen. View notifications, video, even Google Maps on screen. And for the first time ever, real-time view of fish movements with live sight sonar. HDS Live. New from Lowrance.
Jacob Wheeler and Tommy Biffle have a lot in common.
Flat bill.
The perfect shape.
You gotta love some white tackle.
I know I have a spinning rod.
I love my hammer crawl.
Biffle bug.
Rigged
on a hardhead.
Well, they could be twins. Bifflebug, Hammer Crawl, Hardhead, from Gene LaRue.
Let me help you, man.
Let me help that hat. Whoa. There you go. I already look better.
Pros depend on hydraulic jack plates to get the best out of their boats. Do what they do. Demand Atlas performance. Atlas gets you from the bottom to the top in less than 8 seconds, even with the big 4 strokes. And when you gotta turn right around and get that heavy load back up in rough water, Atlas's innovative design and American-made components will get you there with confidence.
I'm at Depot. Just look for yourself. There's an Atlas jack plate on just about every professional's boat.
The Atlas hydraulic jack plate. You can depend on it.
My rods look different because they are different. Every rod is built by the pros and for the pros. When you pick up a white Duckett fishing rod, you're getting a cutting-edge rod, one that's truly pro-driven, with the actions you need for every bait category you fish. I put my name on it. It's my promise to build you a great rod you can count on.
Duckett Fishing, Micro Magic, Macro Magic, or White Ice.
Try them. They work.
Man, I am so excited to be joining the AFCO Pro staff. They got some really cool, innovative products to help you have a more enjoyable, comfortable day while you're out there on the water. Really stylish, great functional clothing. You're gonna love it. The thing I'm most excited about though is AFCO has pledged to donate 10% of their total profits back to supporting the conservation of our fisheries. And I am all about supporting a company that's about supporting conservation so that we can enjoy our bass fishing for a long time. Check us out, AFCO.
I talk about Sunline, I think of one word, confidence.
Sunline FX2 is what I use for all of my frogging and flipping.
S61 braid, which braid plays a big part in fishing line.
Shooter, I'm going to use in those close quarter deals like flipping and pitching.
One of my favorite techniques in fishing the tournament trail is to fish offshore ledges.
We have taken the questions out of the equation.
Take my word for it. It works. It works, dude.
All right, we are back on a Thursday. Mark and Matthew in studio. And, dude, I have been working feverishly on some of the plans that we're going to have for 2019. And as we approach Thanksgiving and Christmas, you know, we'll kind of divulge a little bit more about what we have going on. But a lot of the companies that have been involved with us for a number of years, very excited about some of the ideas that we've been working on together. So one thing I can say is the one-on-one live series definitely going to take part in 2019. So we're looking forward to that.
Are you taking a day off, though? Taking it easy? No work today?
What do you mean?
It's your birthday today.
You had to bring that up.
I figured you would just relax and kick back a little bit. You got school and everything?
No. Yeah, got practice. Have our first freshman game is Monday, so yeah, there's a lot going on. Plus, we are in a very critical stage of my finance and economics class right now.
You got class today?
I have class today.
Yeah. How old are you now? 54? 55? 56?
No, I'm not even going to say, dude. Yeah, something like that.
Did I hit one of them?
You hit one of them.
54, 55, 56.
Yeah.
What do you isn't 55? Don't you qualify for something?
Senior citizen. I get a discount at IHOP or something like that. I am a card-carrying member. I'll say that much.
Is that 50 or 55?
I think it's 50.
Okay, so that means
I can't get Social Security until 62 and a half.
Are you 56 years old today?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah, do I look 56? Do I act 56?
No, the only thing I would say is you have a little bit of gray hair going on the bottom that you had never, didn't have that up until, 3-4 years ago?
It's all because of you.
Okay.
It's all because of the stress that you've been on.
I've been working with you since you were, 44?
Yeah.
It's wild.
It is what it is, man. Take care of your body. Try to do the best. Try to eat well. Don't party too much, and hopopefully you will live
under
longer.
The weather.
Yeah, you are. You're not looking good.
Well, I ate casino Chinese.
That was not a wise wager.
I'm paying for it, and then I ate a roll of Tums without reading
an entire roll.
Yeah, I got 2.
Why did you? An entire roll.
It was bad. I didn't know if I'd be able to get through the show.
Well, folks, here, I'll say this. When I walked into the studio this morning, normally he's sitting at one of the editing stations, and he wasn't sitting there, and there was nobody in here, and I walked into the other part of the office, and there he is laying on the floor. You're laying on the floor asleep.
I wasn't like spread eagle, like in a state of distress. I had a pillow.
Curled up in the fetal position.
It was not the fetal position. It was just on my side so that there was no pressure on all that Chinese food.
Oh, jeez, man. And then you tell me you eat an entire tube of Tums? Oh.
It was one of the small rolls.
Jeez.
But, hey, it was free. They sent me a thing that said I had free buffet at the casino.
Oh, dude. Learn a valuable lesson from that. All right. Let's bring in, talk a little.
Is he still with us?
Yeah. We're going to talk a little international bass fishing with Freddy Roubanis. And let's see. Freddy, you there, man?
Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. We're all good. Let me get the shot queued up here, and we will be good to go. All right. Good to see you, Freddy.
Hey, good to see you guys. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, that's quite the backdrop you have right there.
You like that? How about that?
A little bling, a little gold.
Little bling.
What the heck does that say on it? FIPSED?
FIPSED. That's the that's the International Fishing Association.
What does that stand for? You don't know what that stands for, do you?
Dude, I didn't even know what FLW stood for my first year on FLW.
Wait, stop right there. Since you bring that up, here, I'm going to cue up this picture, Matthew. Look at this shot.
Oh, is that Freddy for the Everstart?
Look at that shot. You can't see it, Freddy.
Oh, that is bold.
Look at that. Look
That's
how
out in,
young.
That has to be out in California.
Oh, it is. I wish you could see it.
We're looking at your Everstart batteries photo in FLW when you were hatless, holding up two. They look like Delta fish.
La Crosse, Wisconsin is what that was, actually.
Oh, well, yeah, they're chunky and healthy there. But also another picture of you holding up big fish is one with JMFW.
Yeah, there we have it right there.
We're looking at it right now. So, dude, all right. Explain this to me. I get the USA Bass. It is a badass logo. I know you guys went to South Africa. You've had, like, I know Scott Martin's done, like, the Pan Am games. I want you, to best of your ability, place the international USA Bass team in just how it fits into the whole realm of everything.
Yeah, so it's really it's our dream to make bass fishing an Olympic sport. And that is what we are doing. It's an international circuit. It's one tournament a year, plus the Pan Am. Pan Am's a separate deal. I believe it's all run through sanctioned through the same deal. But this is called the Black Bass World Championship. And we fished last year in South Africa. I think we had about 13 teams there from different countries. And this year we went to Mexico, and we got to fish against 15 countries. So it's growing. And, the Olympic Committee's watching. So we're just trying to prove that it's an international sport.
Jeffries isn't buying it, Fred. I'm just going to come out and say
I'm not buying it.
You've got to convince Jeffries. You've got
You know what that is?
What is that?
Let me see.
That is the best thing you can bring back from Mexico.
Candy,
300 count of chiclets.
Convince Jeffries, Fred, why bass fishing.
They didn't even have to search my vehicle through custom coming back to get that. Just telling you.
Wow.
Convince Jeffries, Freddie, why bass fishing should be an Olympic sport. Because I see the path. Jeffries does not.
Well, I mean,
sell me.
There's other sports out there that I've always wondered, why is that an Olympic sport? But bass fishing, I mean, there's a lot to it. There really is. I mean, hey, I even saw the defensive side of it this last week that I've never seen before. Which you don't ever think defense when you're fishing, but I mean, hey, it's a sport. When I come back, I just slept for a week. I mean, or a day or two anyway, just to show you how exhausted I was. But it's there's a lot of variables in it. You've got weather, circumstance, but we tried to keep everything uniformed as far as blast offs, takeoffs, weigh-ins, and let the variables be within the team. Now we work as a team effort. Unlike our regular team or regular bass tournaments we've got here, you're allowed to use your cell phone, and you can call another team in to help. So that's kind of a neat deal as well. Where if you obviously in our tournaments, the elites, FLW, or Major League Fishing, you can't use your cell phone, especially calling another angler. So it's kind of a neat deal, and it's a team effort. And we basically have. I was fortunate enough to get chose to do this, and I'm kind of on the team till 2021, and there's 6 of us. And then 7. It just depends on we had a alternate every year come in on the deal. This year we had Terry Bolton come in, and he showed up well. I mean he crushed them. So it was just a good team effort.
It was Scott Martin, David Dudley, James Watson, Fred Roubanis, Scott Canterbury, and David Fritz. So let me get this right. So if you and JMFW are out just hosing them, and it's not a combined weight. It's like penalties. Based on where you stand.
Yeah, it's a little different. It took me a while. I was like, what do we get these penalties for? No, penalties are actually penalties. That's our point system. So it's not real like penalties. We're not getting penalties. The way it works is there are 42, 45, 46 boats, something like that total, right? 3 boats per team. At the end of it's a 3-day tournament. The first day got canceled, unfortunately, to bad weather. But you take your placement throughout the day, and first place would be like you got 1 point.
So one.
Second place would be 2, and then like you want to have the least amount of points by the end of the day with your entire team. So the first day of the competition, we had a first place, a third place, and I believe a sixth place. So we only had 12 points total.
Or penalties.
Penalties. We had 12 penalties, where second place had 42 penalties.
Okay,
but those are points.
Anyway,
it's confusing.
So
right?
you're fishing with your other teammates to try to have the lowest amount of penalties. So let's say you and JMFW are just wrecking them. You can call up David Dudley or Scott Martin and be like, bro, you got to come over here. It's on fire.
Yeah, and actually, that's exactly what happened. James and I got on a deep crankbait bite the first day, and we're kind of keeping in touch with the other team, see what they got. We got up to about 28 pounds pretty rapidly on one spot, and we called in Scott Martin and Scott Canterbury, and they had 2 good ones, but they came in and upgraded all the way to 35 pounds by the end of the day. Which unfortunately James and I never really got to fish that spot again, because once they came in, they were in the last flight and it wasn't too far from the ramp. So half the world saw where they were fishing, and we were the last flight going out the next day. So fortunately it was good enough for us to dominate day one. Unfortunately for James and I, we never got to fish it again. But it was a neat deal, and it was a great team effort. And we really didn't have to catch much the next day with the lead we had. So it was a pretty cool deal.
Freddie, on the instant feedback, several people want to know, how did you and how is the team formed? How did the team members get selected?
Charlie Evans, he fished the FLW Tour. He and John Knight and Tony Forte, they kind of are our managers of the entire deal. And so they picked out Scott Martin as the team captain, and from there we all got invited. I was fortunate enough to get invited with Dave Fritz being on the elite side. Where most of the guys are on the FLW side, but now James and I are both major league fishing anglers, so it was kind of cool that we got to fish together too. So it was pretty much an invite deal when we all got it started. Some other people got the invites; they turned it down. Surprisingly, I really. I don't know why they would turn it down, an opportunity to win a gold medal, but that you guys turned it down. Maybe it's
Jochimson. Did Jochimson turn it down?
No, I think
That's a joke because he's Australian, Fred.
I would love to see Carl get the Australian team. No. What I'm saying is, I'd love to see Carl.
They have an Australian team.
They should have one. They did not have one there.
Who all was there?
No, there was South Africa, Zimbabwe. There's several countries within the South Africa, in Africa. Then we've got South Korea was there. Germany. Germany was there. They don't even have a bass in Germany. So I think that's kind of neat to see.
How about Italy?
Italy was there. Yeah, they did good.
Russia?
Mexico, of course. I don't know if Russia was there.
That'd be an intimidating team.
Hey, what were the crowds like?
It was actually pretty impressive, for the location. It was out in the middle of nowhere. So for there to be as many people out there, and they had tents set up and kind of a little expo deal. It's a world-class fishery we went to, Lake Cachillo. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but it's about 2 hours south of the border, below Sugar Lake, and in the city of it's spelled China, but it's China, Mexico.
So is there info about it, or are there even maps for this place?
Matt, you know me. I don't know. There was no maps, but I will tell you this though. Oh gosh, when we got there, I was hoping to see some kind of map built in on our graph. It was just plain. It was just land. So I didn't really do the, I should have looked at trying to get an international card or something. But the cool thing is I was able to build my own contours with quick draw contours that Garmin offers. So as I'm running around, even on pad, I'm building a map. So the whole time I'm running around, I'm constantly building a map. And that's how we found the area we fished.
Did Canada have a team?
I know they have a
Canada,
team.
Yes, Canada was there. Met some great friends from Canada now. I'm looking forward. As a matter of fact, they're going to host the Pan Am next year. up there near the St. Lawrence River area.
Is that a Team USA bass fishing hat or just a Team USA hat?
This is just, well, no. So the one I got, like this one, here's one of the official hats, but I got this one autographed by the whole team. So I'm keeping that one up here.
Folks, if you want more info, and this is the only way I know anything about this, I just went, it's usabass.org.
Right.
You can see pictures of everybody. Kind of explains the Pan Am games, how you can get involved, and that's why I asked that. I kind of set them up because it is a cool hat.
Yeah, Freddie, I'm going to say this right now. All right, I think international bass fishing, very, very interesting. I think it's great that other countries in the world are getting involved with this, and you guys have done a super job getting this series taken care of and formatted. But with everything that has taken place in the bass fishing world here in America, what I would like to see now, because I love this format, I'm not too keen on the whole penalties term.
Well, it's just like
I get it.
It's a nitpick.
I get it. What I want to see, and I know what a lot of fans would like to see, is an event that pits FLW against Major League Fishing against the Bassmaster Elite Series. In a showcase event, you guys pick 10, Major League Fishing picks 10, the Elite Series picks 10, and the FLW picks 10. Get after it. Let's see what you guys can do.
Hey, I'm game for that. You know I'm game for that. That would be awesome. That would be a really cool deal. And I don't see that. I think you guys should put it together. Let's throw a little fish and chips and gambling involved too.
Dude, I'd be taking lines on that one. You know, could you imagine what the Calcutta would be like for that one?
It'd be awesome, wouldn't it?
It would be. It really would be.
Hey, but you know what? Tony Coatney, I did call him. He used to guide down on that lake.
Mm-hmm.
I did get to call him before. I wanted to give him some props. It really didn't help us at all because it was more of a flipping trap thing that he told me to do. But it gave me confidence going down there. You know, confidence no matter what is always a good thing.
All right. So when's the next one?
The next one is actually in February back in South Africa. And unfortunately, it'll conflict with a major league event next year, so I'm not going to be able to make it. Neither will James Watson. So they're going to find some alternates on that deal. And they're moving it to February. Usually they've been in October where they don't conflict with anything. So I think the Pan Am in Canada will be in October. So I'll try to make that deal.
Oh, that could be a little chilly.
All right. Hey, and I just don't know. That's why I'm asking you. Has there been an international event, one of these taking place in the U.S. yet?
Yeah.
When was that?
The following year, we're going to have one on Lake Murray.
Wow.
Lake Murray is going to be in 2020. And, I think that's around, well, it'll be in October-ish, so we'll see. It'll be interesting, but I like Lake Murray.
Didn't they have the Pan American in Florida that Scott won?
Yeah, that was this year at Okeechobee earlier in the year.
That was an international.
Okay.
That was an international event, but this one's the bigger deal that we did, I believe.
Is it is it heavy gold medal?
Because it's got more country.
Like, is the gold medal heavy? Is the gold medal heavy? Is it heavy?
I'm getting
Uh-oh.
No, is the gold medal that you have, is it heavy? Is it solid gold?
Yeah, how heavy is it?
It's pretty heavy. It's pretty heavy. I don't know. It's 24 karat. Is that good?
Well, it's better than 12, I guess.
Did you get paid at all to do this? I will ask that. I mean, is there any compensation for winning the tournament, or is this just for the?
I don't get paid when I get a big old thing of chiclets.
Is this just for the pride of USA?
Dude, that right there is what it's all about. I haven't had this since I went to Tijuana when I was younger.
Oh, jeez.
Hopefully that's the only thing you got in Tijuana.
Yeah, no joke on that. All right, Freddie, you mentioned Mr. Evans. Is any posturing or positioning been done with the IOC, with the International Olympic Committee?
That's over my head. I'll be honest with you. I'm just a fisherman.
He just catches fish.
I just go out there and do my job.
Well, we could call Charlie Evans and ask him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
might have to
Charlie.
do that.
I would honestly. That's who you need to talk to. Charlie, John Knight, or Tony Forte, or even and being that Scott Martin's our team captain, he probably has a lot more knowledge.
You know
on
how
that.
hard it is to get a hold of Scott Martin, Fred?
Next to impossible.
You know how hard it is to get a hold of Scott Martin?
Here, I'll give you a cell number. Here.
No, I've got a cell number.
It's impossible.
I know. Well, I would. Charlie Evans would be the one to talk to because he's really. I mean, he got me pumped and excited about it. And I'll tell you what, I am so thankful for the opportunity. Because how many guys honestly can go out there and say they've won an international event and got a gold medal? I mean, really. Cool. I mean,
yeah.
That I'm proud of it.
Good point, man. All right. One thing I want to ask. Recently, well, it's been a little while, but your latest move, you relocated to Arkansas. All right. California to Oklahoma to Arkansas. Where's been your favorite place, Freddie?
Dude, I love it here in Arkansas. I really do. I mean, granted, I love the bass fishing in California the best. California Delta, Clear Lake, Shasta, Oroville, Bullards Bar, all that is just, I mean, epic bass fishing. But living in Arkansas, Oklahoma was great too. Don't get me wrong. I love Oklahoma. Great friends, great people, great food. But here we got a little piece of country. We live out in the middle of 40 acres, got a little pond. I'm 5 minutes to launch ramp. Never in my life have I ever lived 5 minutes to a launch ramp. So living that close to Lake Darnell, I've got Bigfoot up on the hill living right there. Here, look. You guys want to see him? I'll show you. I got Bigfoot. You guys didn't believe me. Look, I'm taking you guys out.
We'll see. If we lose you, it's been fun.
No, you're not going to lose me. Do you see him up there?
We're losing you.
You guys see Bigfoot?
No, can't see him.
I think I kind of do.
You don't see Bigfoot?
Yeah.
No, I see a bunch of blur.
See him?
Told you.
Yeah, obviously the internet connection in Arkansas is not as good as Oklahoma.
It's got lily pads. It's a frog.
I just heard frog.
What's that?
I said we just heard frog at the end.
Oh, I'm coming back in here.
Now we're on the grand tour of the 40 acres.
No, I can't. I got to go deer hunting later today. So.
Oh, he has to. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I love it. We actually built the shop home, like a big metal building, and that's what we're living in. And this is a little entertainment area, and around here, so I got my boat and tackle, and I don't know if you guys can see any of that, but
yeah, that looks cool. That looks really cool.
Yeah.
Hey, but check this out. You guys are seeing this first. That's my new prototype. I'm gonna go tie this on. Actually, I got it on this rod over here. I'm gonna go try it down at the pond. It's new popping boom boom frog.
Is that a Stanford deal?
Yeah, we designed the mouth so it'll spit like a pencil popper.
Oh, okay.
As a frog. So yeah.
Cool. The popular black with the yellow head. What do they call that? Yellow head?
That one's called Dirty Bird. Dirty Bird's what we call it. Now this one's the original Fred frog color. See that?
Yeah.
Nice little popping mouth. Spitting mouth.
Yeah. Very cool.
But yeah.
All right, man. Well, you're going to kick things off pretty quick here. You only got about, 6, 7 weeks? 8 weeks, maybe?
Yeah, I probably ought to order a boat, huh?
That's vintage Fred right there. Haven't done that yet, huh?
Well, I'm trying to figure all that out right now. I'm trying to sort it through. I'm a little behind. I'm not going to lie.
And you're going deer hunting?
Well, yeah, because it's getting cold.
All right, on a scale of 1 to 10, I've got to ask, on a scale of 1 to 10, man, how bad do you want fish and chips to come back?
Dude, like a 12. Is that? I mean, that was the funnest. Like literally, you guys held the funnest event. And Mark, I gotta thank you because you are the reason I've been boom boom because of you. I mean, I am boom boom because of you. So I just want to thank you for giving me that nickname as a dark horse way back in 2007. Hey, well, I got to show you this.
Hopefully we can.
Yeah, we're hanging in there.
Oh, hold on. You can't see it, but when you chose me and picked me to win a tournament,
yeah,
I've got the board from the stage up there.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, we see it.
Yeah, the Bassmaster America.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
That's when you nicknamed me Boom.
Yeah.
So that's I'll always be thankful for that. But yes, we need to bring the fish and chips back. Matt, you'd be happy to know that I've gotten better at poker.
Thank God.
So maybe those seconds will turn into first.
Yeah, Fred and I are the bona fide Aaron Martins of fish and chips.
Yeah, well, I will say this.
We're the Aaron Martins of fish and chips.
Freddie, I will say this. I am actually going to work on, that's part of one of my initiatives for 2019, to bring it back. I'm actually going to work in 20. Awesome. Yeah, I'm really going to work hard on trying to bring it back, and it will be at Grand Lake, so hopefully we can pull that thing off.
Matt, you going to be my partner again?
Of course.
All right, I'm in.
All right. All right, Freddie. Good. Hey, man, great job in Mexico with the bling there, with the gold. And, hey, man, we appreciate you over the years supporting what we do. And it sounds like you got a lot going on, and you're extremely happy there in Arkansas. So I'm really happy for you that things have worked out the way they have, man.
Thanks. You guys have an open invitation to come out and visit anytime. Go fishing, hunting, whatever you want to do. Shoot some guns.
Very cool. All right. Take care, Freddie. Enjoy the holidays, and we'll talk to you soon, man.
All right. Thanks, guys.
See ya.
All right. There you have it. Freddie Boom Boom Roubanis.
Good stuff. Not much on the details, but
just vintage Freddie.
He does get to be down in Mexico. It looked like they fished out of his boat, which would mean that Fred was driving across the border in 2 hours into Mexico. Now, I'm hoping that Watson, who was in the military, correct?
Yes.
Is better at directions
than Freddie?
Than Fred is.
Yeah, you guys got lost going 2.5 miles.
We got lost going from the casino where Fish and Chips was to the boat ramp. We ended up going the opposite direction. I could not imagine him driving in Mexico, but it's a cool deal. Check it out.
Definitely.
USABass.org.
Yeah.
I like the hats. They're cool hats.
I think Amart was actually one of the original guys that went over to Italy. I think
don't know if this has anything to do with
I think that was back in the Crown Royal days.
Yeah, I don't know if this has anything to do with.
Maybe we can find out on that. I'm intrigued by the whole thing, but as far as an Olympic dream, no, not going to happen.
How many times have I told you they got stuff where they see you can throw a stick the farthest, who can chuck
I still haven't seen that. What are you talking about, the javelin throw?
Yeah. And what's the one?
Dude, that's been around since the first Olympic Games.
You don't think fishing's been around since the first Olympic Games?
No, it hasn't.
How do people catch the fish then? Fish has been part of the diet. How do they get the fish?
Net.
How do they get the fish?
With a net.
Okay, well, that's
right.
still, they could have had the netting championships. And then it just slowly progresses into what it is today.
That's not going to happen. Not going to happen.
I mean, people have been catching fish as long as they've been throwing sticks.
With the net, yes. And that has been go back and look at history. Jeez. All right. What do we got lined up for next week, man? I know you're not feeling well. But,
I'll get someone from, I don't know. What do you want me to get?
We haven't really talked about next week. This week was a big week. Obviously, if you haven't listened to the Boyd Duckett podcast or watch the replay, go back and do that. But I'd like to try. I want to try and get Jay Yellis on. I'm really intrigued by his decision to fish the Bassmaster Elite Series.
Were you in the boat with him?
I was
during the Classic that he did?
Yeah, on day one, and I think I've told that story before. We will get into that when he is hopefully on the show next week. So we're going to try and get Jay Yellis on.
That's your deal there.
I will reach out to him, and we'll try to get Jay on.
If not, we'll have someone else who's fishing on the Elite Series next year. I'd like to talk to Gussie eventually. I heard he's a great interview. I want to get Keith Combs' thoughts on everything that's going on along here and where he is. So there's a bunch of different guys. Still Clark Wendlandt, as soon as Tree and camo season is over.
Yeah.
You know,
he's a little busy.
I'm in a tree pretty much every day.
All right. So busy week in the world of bass fishing this week. So next week we'll try and get Jay Ellis on and continue the quest as we march toward the month of January when everything kicks off in professional fishing. Matthew, man, lay off the Tums, dude. And the casino Chinese.
I hear you. Hey,
Take
we don't
care of
always
yourself.
make good decisions, but sometimes learning through experience is the best way.
All right, we'll be back on Tuesday, same time. And also, we're going to talk about 2019. A lot of good stuff going to happen in 2019. So everybody be safe, stay warm. Cold weather is coming to Oklahoma and across the country. Everybody stay tuned.